Hey guys, it's been a minute since we talked Marvel news. It's Grey Jedi Joey today. Welcome back to another video. As you can tell by my shirt, we're going to be talking about a lot of Marvel stuff. So, let's start with today's news of Kevin Feige has talked about the state of the MCU, and we have Fantastic Four reviews that we're going to go over on the podcast today. So make sure you guys watch Legions today, because we're going to be getting into all that good stuff. But, with that being said, let's talk about before we talk about what Kevin Feige has in this article, I would like to talk about something else. And that is that Kevin Feige has admitted that his own son wasn't interested in the MCU until he played Marvel Rivals. So it shows the great impact that that game has on his own family, which is crazy considering it's not even in the MCU, but has MCU skins. So that's pretty cool. You know, I love playing that game, so I love to bring that up into any conversation. If you guys want to play Marvel Rivals with me, make sure you do. I've been really loving that game and having a ton of fun with my friends. We have a faction over there and everything. So, with that being said, let's talk about Feige in the MCU and what he has to say as he dropped an update about his future about Marvel. So Feige dropped a few big updates about the future MCU movies as we're reading this article, including the fact that Eric Pearson is now writing Blade. He's no stranger to the world and has previously worked on or polished multiple Marvel projects, including Fantastic Four First Steps. So we finally got a writer for Blade. That's exciting. But also, really? Now we're getting an exciting announcement, and he's attached to Fantastic Four, which, a lot of people had iffy feelings on, but the reviews are out now today, so now we don't really know what to make of that movie. We'll have to wait till I see it on Thursday, because I will be seeing it on Thursday, and I'll have my review posted Thursday night for you guys. But what I think about this is, great Blade has a writer. Hope the film turns out good. I hope that if Fantastic Four is good, then the Blade will be good, considering if a writer does well on one project, hopefully he'll do well on the other. Alright, next up, Pearson also wrote the first draft of Thunderbolts, and the director of that movie, Jake Schreiber, is confirmed to helm the X-Men reboot. Look, I love Thunderbolts, so that's another good sign. So he wrote Thunderbolts. I like Thunderbolts, so that's good. I really hope that means that Fantastic Four is going to be a slam dunk, and hopefully the X-Men reboot will be a slam dunk. Blade is all. I really want Blade to be good. They're clearly taking their time getting Blade right. I hope they get it right. I hope it's great. I really want it to be great. Then we have here, Jake Schreiber is officially confirmed to helm the X-Men reboot. I really want the X-Men reboot to be awesome. I know the MCU is pushing the X-Men to the forefront, and I really want it to be great. I really think they have potential to make it great, and I really hope it is. The biggest news, though, is Loki and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Script writer Michael Waldron helping Steve McFeely on Doomsday. He's no stranger to the multiverse, but for main fans, Waldron being dropped from Secret Wars was good news. So I'm not a huge fan of Michael Waldron. I don't love Multiverse of Madness, as we've talked about. Loki Season 1 was good, but Season 2 had a lot of problems, so in terms of the story, there's a lot of issues I had, even though I do like the show. There were some issues. Not a fan of Waldron's work. I like that he's dropped from Secret Wars. I'm not a fan that he's helping McFeely, but hopefully it'll still turn out good. Alright, so now we have a street-level Spider-Man confirmed. So Brand New Day is confirmed to be a street-level Spider-Man movie, and Miles Morales is being off-limits. Despite lots of chatter about Spider-Man Brand New Day being a multiverse adventure for the web-slinger, it being released before Doomsday seemingly means fans are getting the street-level tale they so desperately want. Feige has said this will mark the first time Tom Holland has played a proper Spider-Man, and noted that he'll deal with street-level crime as opposed to world-ending events. The executive also confirmed plans for John Berthel's Punisher to appear was no mention of the Hulk. Okay, so the Hulk is not confirmed in this article from Feige. We think he's in it, but we are getting the Punisher, so that's pretty good news. Also, for those of you hoping Miles will be thrown into the mix next year, Feige says it won't happen, not yet, at least. Sony has their Brilliant Genius Incredible Spider-Verse animated franchise going, and until that finishes, he said, we've been told to stay away. So Sony's preventing us from using Miles, so hopefully we get a little time to let them cook Spider-Verse, and then we'll get Miles. So that's pretty good. Now he's addressed quality over quantity issues. At first, the proposal of Marvel Studios producing TV shows as well as movies in the multiverse saga was hugely exciting for fans. Things started strong with WandaVision, but with Feige stretched thin, the MCU delivered some pretty big disappointments. We produced 50 hours of stories between 2007 and 2019, but in the 6 years since Avengers Endgame, we've had well over 100 hours of stories in half the time. That's too much. Feige acknowledged, admitting that the mandate from Disney to deliver as much content as possible was ultimately a detriment to the brand. Moving forward, we'll only get one TV series a year, and it won't necessarily connect to the movies. It sounds like Feige learned a lesson from Thunderbolts, a movie he believes underperformed because audience felt they'd have to know who all those streaming characters were before watching. Why the plug was pulled on Kang the Conqueror. He Who Remains was introduced in Loki Season 1, and we later met his Victor Timely, Kang the Conqueror, the Immortus, Scarlet Centurion, and Rumortut variants. Unfortunately, the villain's role in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was proof to many fans that the time-traveling villain was no Thanos. Feige agreed with that statement. We had first started to realize that Kang wasn't big enough, wasn't Thanos, and claims that he was already planning to pivot to Doctor Doom, and that he discovered the character with Robert Downey Jr. Discussed the character with Robert Downey Jr. before the Ant-Man threat, underwhelming us all. Either way, Jonathan Majors' legal issues meant Kang was out. If Quantumania's post-credit scenes were decided to come, then this was likely for the best. However, Feige didn't share any insights into whether Kang's absence will be addressed or how the MCU plans to move on from the villain teed up as the multiverse's biggest threat in Loki. So, here's where I stand on this issue. I think Feige is lying. I don't agree that he says that they already were planning on moving to Doctor Doom. Because he allowed there to be an end credit scene for Quantumania. He allowed Quantumania to happen and to continue to use Kang in Loki as well. So he still kept trying to make Kang a bigger villain. So I gotta call bullshit on this one, guys. I really just don't believe this. I think Kevin Feige is starting to turn out like the new Kathleen Kennedy, where he's just a studio bot. You can't really listen to anything that he says and take anything he says seriously. I mean, all this stuff, it sounds incredibly exciting, but it sounds very mandated, very on paper, kind of way to fail. I really am not thrilled about him saying that about Doom, because I really don't believe it. Alright, now I said where things stand with Blade. This past weekend marked 6 years since Mahershala Ali was announced as the lead of a new Blade movie. Fans have long wondered why Marvel Studios couldn't get the Daywalker back into theaters. And Feige has shared a pretty convincing explanation. We didn't want to simply just put a leather outfit on Ali and have him start killing vampires. So, Feige said of 4 failed attempts to relaunch the franchise, it had to be unique and fell right into the time when we started pulling back and saying only accept instantly great, and it wasn't instantly great at the time. He added that none of the scripts were good enough that the movie could be tweaked and improved during production. as Marvel Studios' way. While Blade seems like a simple nut to crack on the surface, it's hard to fault Feige for wanting to take the time to get right. Fortunately, it seems the movie is still happening and will now be set in present day. Alright, so this part of the article is interesting. So Blade's happening. We have a writer. It seems like they didn't move forward because there weren't good scripts. But I don't know why they didn't just do that from the beginning. If they knew how important this character is, they needed to lock the script in at a good time, and they should have planned smarter with it. Because they're wasting time. Like, they could have a good script for Blade out, and then we could be getting Blade sooner. So, I mean, I feel like that's the sad thing. Mahershala is not getting any younger. Sounds like we're eventually going to get Blade. Hopefully they're on the right track with the script. I really want this Blade movie to be good. Alright, next part. This is the last part before we get into the hard discussion. What the MCU will look like after Avengers Secret Wars. Confirm that the MCU's take on the X-Men will be comic accurate. Feige pointed to mutants being a big part of where this franchise goes next. Helping Marvel Studios achieve that will be Avengers Secret Wars, a movie that will seemingly reboot the sacred timeline. Reboot is a scary word, he explained. Reboot can mean a lot of things. For a lot of people, reset a singular timeline. We're thinking along those lines. X-Men is where that will all happen next. Feige later suggested fans can look at the Secret Wars comics for clues about how the MCU's Secret Wars very much sets up for the future. In other words, it's a soft reboot we've been hearing about for at least the past couple of years, with a new MCU featuring the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four. Some old fan favorites are also likely to be recast. Alright, so this piece, so Iron Man and Captain America, maybe even Thor, probably Black Widow, they're all getting recast. And, you know, you can feel a particular way about this, or you can just be like, hey, it's whatever. It's fine. I think it's going to be very hard to recast Iron Man and Captain America. Black Widow is possible to recast. Thor is going to be hard, but we'll see. I mean, we might have Chris Hemsworth for a very long time, so who knows. But I'm excited about the X-Men. I hope I like the Fantastic Four in this movie, so I'm excited about their future. But yeah, this article is interesting. This article, for me, doesn't get me hyped with the MCU. It raises more concerns than it answers. So anyway, guys, what do you guys think about my thoughts about this article? Are you guys interested in what they have to say? Is there anything that sticks out to you? Anything you like more than others? Let me know your thoughts. And as always, we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.